First of all, I just want to say welcome to the channel and thanks for giving me a chance. I'll be doing videos similar to this on history topics in the future, so enjoy. It's 1914. Europe looks like this. Everyone knew that a big war was coming, seeing as technology and weaponry had progressed a lot since the last big European war, and the fact that there was heaps and heaps of tension between the nations. Here's some examples. France wanted Alsace-Lorraine back from the Germans after they lost in the Franco-Prussian War. The German and British empires had been having a huge naval arms race for the last 10 years or so, who could build a bigger and stronger navy, because both of them wanted control over the North Sea. Serbia was annoyed at Austria recently annexing Bosnia and the Balkans, as it dreamed of one day uniting the South Slavic people. And this war started in Sarajevo. The heir to the Austrian throne, Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife, were visiting the city. But they were intercepted by a group of nationalists who attempted to assassinate him. They threw bombs at his car. They missed, blowing up his escort behind him. Here, I like to question the sanity of the Archduke. Someone had just attempted to kill him, and instead of, leaving the city or hiding, he had the utter genius idea of visiting the injured men in hospital. His driver went down the wrong street on the way to the hospital, and by pure chance got stuck in traffic outside a cafe where one of the assassins was, who shot him. Austria-Hungary was pretty pissed about this. They blamed Serbia, who they think organised the assassination. Austria sent a big old list of demands to Serbia, and after they rejected it, Austria declared war on Serbia. Now, here's why World War I evolved from a small war between two countries to a massive global conflict. Austria declared war on Serbia, also asking Germany for assistance in case Russia intervenes. As a result, Germany and Austria declared war on Russia. Germany declares war on France because Russia and France are also friends. Germany demands Belgium let them march their armies through to flank the French from the north. Belgium rejects this request, and the Germans do it anyway, and maybe commit some crimes along the way. This angers Britain, who swore to protect Belgian neutrality, so Britain declares war on Germany. Japan and Britain are allies, so Japan declares war on the Germans, and Austria declares war on Japan. These countries here declare their neutrality. So very quickly, this little war becomes a very, very big one. Germany puts into action the Schlieffen Plan, where they will rush into France at full speed, gain a quick victory, move all their forces to the east, defeat Russia. Easy, right? Problem. The French have border defences, which forces their hand into making the decision to go through Belgium. While moving through the lowlands, Russia begins a big-ish offensive into East Prussia, much quicker than Germany expected. Germany asked Austrians to hold off the Russians. They couldn't. This forces Germany to send men to the eastern front, leading to the Battle of Tannenberg, which saw the destruction of the entire Russian Second Army. The Russian casualties were so high, the commanding officer committed suicide in shame. In the past, Russia's strength came from sheer numbers, but now technology and weaponry has overcome numbers, as seen as their embarrassing defeat in the Crimean War and the Russo-Japanese War. On the western front, the First Battle of Moraine takes place, just outside the outskirts of Paris. Germany lost this battle, and this is where the Schlieffen Plan kind of just falls apart. Then we have the race to the sea, where both sides try to outflank each other, rushing north until they reach the coast. The Germans dig into defensive positions. The Allies do the same. This is trench warfare, and this will last for the rest of the war on the Western Front.
This quickly evolves into total war. What's total war? Well, this is when all previous rules or agreements of war are disregarded, and all territories become involved. The French start using tear gas on the German lines, even though it was banned in the Hague Conventions. This provoked the Germans to return using mustard gas. See, both sides knew they had to break this stalemate. The British set up a naval blockade along the North Sea, so Germany couldn't import stuff like food or resources. The German colonies in Africa were also taken, and Japan was more than happy to seize German colonies in Asia. As well as this, Germany sent their Zeppelins to go bomb British cities. The Ottoman Empire had been in decline for years now, and was splitting whether they should join the war or not. They eventually decided to join the Central Powers. They fought Russia in the Caucasus, to no avail. They sent their armies to take the Suez Canal from the British, which failed too. A man named Lawrence of Arabia led the Arab people in revolt against the Ottomans, which caused chaos among the Ottoman Empire. For whatever reason, they blamed their failures on the ethnic Armenians, and over 1 million Armenians were killed in a massive genocide. The British landed in the Gallipoli Peninsula in the Ottoman Empire to try march on Constantinople. The Gallipoli campaign can pretty much be summed up by this meme, and after 8 months, the Allies abandoned their offensive and pulled out of Gallipoli. Germany ordered its submarines to do unrestricted submarine warfare, which basically means if a German submarine spots you, well, hope you can swim well. They sank the Lusitania, which had a lot of Americans on board. This made American public opinion of Germany very low, which affected the large German population living in America at the time. With Bulgaria joining the Central Powers, Serbia finally fell to their joint invasion with Austria-Hungary. Italy, also eager to expand its borders, declared war on the Central Powers after being promised the coast of the Adriatic Sea by the British and French. The Italians opened a front through the Alps against Austria-Hungary. This also ended up in a stalemate. Attempting to break France, the Germans started a massive battle at Verdun, which was an offensive at, you guessed it, Verdun. This battle achieved very little for Germany, but showed the French determination to defend their land. This battle was a French victory in the end, and lasted about 300 days. About halfway through the Battle of Verdun, the Allies started an offensive at the Somme. This battle became the most bloody battle in human history, with about 20,000 men dying on day one. To help out the Allies in the Somme, the Russian Empire started an offensive. After 140 days and over 1 million deaths, the Allied pushed a whole 10 kilometers forward. The Germans supplied the Irish Rebellion in April 1916, but due to disorganization and miscommunication, this only lasted 6 days, before the British put down the rebellion. Out in the North Sea, the Great Clash of the Dreadnoughts happened, also known as the Battle of Jutland. Both Germany and Britain had built a new class of battleship, called Dreadnought. This boat outpaced and outranged all other type of ships before it. The problem was, they were super expensive to make, and neither side wanted to lose them during the battle. A few got damaged. After this, the German High Seas Fleet mostly stayed in port. Romania joined the Allies and was promptly invaded. In 1917, Germany ordered its submarines to resume unrestricted submarine warfare. After this, America cut all diplomatic ties with Germany. Germany sent a telegraph to Mexico, asking them to invade America. This was intercepted by the British, and after showing this telegram to America, Congress declared war. Greece had been divided on joining the Allies or the Central Powers for some time now. After the king abdicated, they joined the Allies, starting an offensive into Austria-Hungary and the Ottoman Empire, with help from the British and American troops. Over in the Eastern Front, Russia had been fighting a war they couldn't avoid for 3 years now. Riots in St. Petersburg, also known as Petrograd at the time, led to a whole revolution which saw the Tsar overthrown. This happened in March 1917, and was appropriately named the it was named the February Revolution. The new provisional government decided to continue the war, win some battles, and pull out of the war with the support of the people. And how'd that go? Well, the Russians started a massive offensive, pushing Germany all the way back to they just got pummeled. Now came along a short, angry man and his boys, who thought everyone's paycheck should be the same, and overthrew the government. This man, Vladimir Lenin, made Russia communist and signed a peace deal with Germany, ceding this territory. Now with the East dealt with, Germany had to make one large push into Paris, as more and more Americans were showing up to aid the Western Front. The Second Battle of the Marne was the last major German offensive. This failed, as the Allies counterattacked, and Germany used up the last of its resources in the attack, and with hundreds of Allied tanks, the offensive was very quickly destroyed. With the Allies attacking on all sides, the Bulgarians fell first, followed by the Ottomans, Austria, and finally Germany signing an armistice on November 11, 1918. This war was nothing the world had ever seen, leaving 20 million dead and about 23 more wounded. Before I go, thanks for clicking on my video. I'm trying to get into this kind of video making. Please comment below any video ideas you might have. Have a good day.